Okay, so today's video we're going to talk about how to trim up some extra spaces in certain columns, and also how to concatenate, which is merging two cells into one cell. I was working on some data today and I thought, you know, um, even for you, you're going to have data sheets that aren't on ASAP and you really want to get on your website. So I thought I'd share a couple things I end up doing to make my life a little bit easier and hope it helps you as well. So let's talk about trimming up extra spaces first. So what I mean by that is sometimes you get a data sheet that someone has copied and pasted in and there's an extra space, right? It's not trimmed up. There's an extra space, or someone put an extra space, they type something in and they uh, hit spacebar twice. So this can be a reason, depending on your platform, where something might not load to your website. Maybe, and I'm sure you've done an import, I have, and I've had, let's just say 100 parts were on the sheet, and after I do the import it says awesome, 83 parts got loaded, and now you got to go figure out what happened. These issues here could be a reason that it doesn't load. So first thing we're going to do is talk about how to get rid of and clean these up when you see it come over. The ones that have a space before it, kind of easy to see, right? You can just glance down and you can certainly tell the ones that do. It would be a drain of your time to have to go in and make those corrections manually. But what's not so easy is to know, you know, ones that have spaces afterwards. And so we're going to use the trim function on Excel for this. Now, you don't have to have the cell that you're working on right next to the cell you're changing. I do this just out of habit. So I'm going to work on cell A or column A. I always just insert a new column. Now, you're never going to be dealing with the top line because that's your header line, and these are never going to have anything but the headers in them. So what I'm going to do here, and this is again to trim these, is I'm going to put my mouse in this cell, which is right next to the first cell of the content I'm going to be talking about. And you're going to go up to formulas right up here in your Excel, and you're going to go down to text, and you're going to find trim, and it's going to bring this formula up for you. And what it's asking here is, which cell do you want to have this work in? Well, I want A2 because that's the first piece of content. And yes, it's one piece of content, but trust me, this will make a formula for the entire row. So I'm going to just type in A2 and hit OK. So what this did, and you can already see, it cleaned that up, right? It took away that extra space. So what you have to do is now click on it, right? Make sure your mouse is clicked on it. I want you to copy that, and I want you to drag that below the one you just did and paste it in. So awesome. So it went in here and you can see that it trimmed up this one. And you can't see right now that it trimmed up this one because what you're actually seeing here, if you'll look up here, right, this is a formula that's been pasted. Even though you see the content, we still have to do one more step. And this is a good step because sometimes I get them, and you probably do also, that you get a data sheet and they've given you these columns that have those formulas in them and not the base content of it. So again, you don't have to do this. You can go over here somewhere, but I'm going to click on the whole column that I'm talking about, right, up in the B, and I'm going to copy it. Now I'm going to go to the header of this, and I'm going to paste special. Not just paste, because then I'm just pasting over the whole formula. And I'm going to paste in the value of that column, right? This is what you want, the value. So now what happened is I got clean, right? See, now when I click on those, I have actually put that in there as opposed to this, which is just the formula. And now I'm just going to delete that. I would typically delete this whole column now, rename it for the SKU, but it's all cleaned up. And now you can see that on this one, right, as opposed to the one before, it doesn't have those spaces in there anymore. The second part of this is concatenation. So sometimes you'll get a column and you want that on your website to be combined with another piece of content. Um, there's a ton of reasons why that would be. Maybe those fields should have been together and you want to use it as a filter on your website, or you want to put it into something different, or maybe you want to even amend it to the description. So you don't have to create another line and hand type this all in. So what you want to do is concatenation. So for this one, we're going to do the same thing. I'm not ever going to go into the header bar, right? Because that's where I'm going to have my title of that column. And for this one, just so you know, you don't have to be right next to it. I'm going to click open on the cell because that's the line that has the information in it. And I don't have to do anything up here, right? But I'm going to hit the equal sign on your keyboard. It's right below the plus sign. You hit the equal and you start to type in concatenate, and Excel says, is this what you want? Yes. You must double click that. So now it's going to concatenate. It's asking you, well, what goes first? And what it's saying is, which one of these cells do you want to start with? And it doesn't matter what position they're on the Excel sheet. If I want to go here and then here and then here, I can concatenate the whole thing if I wanted to. But for this purpose, I'm going to say this is the first piece of information. So I just click my mouse in there. Now I'm going to do the second piece of information I want in there. But first we need to put a comma, just like it shows, right, comma. Now, if all I wanted to do was merge those two together, I would click into the next cell, but what's going to happen is it's going to merge them together. It's not going to make a space, and depending on what it is, maybe you need a space, or you want a comma, or you want a dash, or a pipe. So at this point, we need to hit your shift button on your keyboard and put the little quotation marks, right? If you're just doing a space, then we just hit the space bar. If you were to want it to concatenate with a comma, then we would put the comma right here, right? And then close that up with the other quotation mark. Now, you must put another comma because that is considered another piece of the formula. So I'm going to put another comma. Now I'm going to just click my mouse here and go, yay, it's done. All right, so I'm done with this, and I'm going to now close that out with the other piece of the parentheses there. And I'm done. All right, I've made that. You see that it took Chrysler and put a dash or a comma in there. Now we need to do the same thing, right? We need to copy that formula and paste it in, but we still have the formula. We don't have the real, right? This is showing formula. So do the same thing. On the whole column, copy, come over here, paste special. Now we have the whole piece of information. Delete that puppy out of there. So again, if you didn't want a comma, you could do a space, you could do a pipe, you could do anything. You just have to make sure that you have those the commas to separate them and your quotations to make sure that piece of space of information's in there. Anyway, helps you go through your data sheets quicker. I hope this helped. Let me know if you have any other questions. Working on Excel sheets can be really time consuming. Trust me, I know what you're going through, so we're here to help.